In order to get closer to Chinese fans, he specifically bought a new phone to download domestic software and interact with fans. Unintentionally, he paved the way for a new mode of interaction between stars and fans, idols and followers. Being a fan of Haliburton is undoubtedly lucky. In today's commercial league full of material desires, the existence of Haliburton is like a bright gemstone that shines brightly. This is perhaps the reason why Haliburton is so loved by Chinese fans. Hello everyone. Today let's delve into the story of Hali Magic. On February 29, 2000, Haliburton was born in Wisconsin, USA. The sports atmosphere in Haliburton's family was profound. Both parents were basketball enthusiasts. His father was a professional referee and a basketball coach, while his mother was his father's most loyal fan. Therefore, under the influence of this environment, Haliburton has developed a strong interest in basketball since childhood. At the age of 4, his father started playing basketball with him. With the support of his parents, Haliburton revealed his talent in the court at an early stage, with his basketball skills continuing to climb year after year of training and competitions. The title child prodigy has been stamped on Haliburton. Haliburton and Hilo knew each other from a young age. Before high school, they both served in the same AAU team. Haliburton then promoted to high school. He was selected for the school team in the first year, but did not get much playing time. It was not until his second year of high school that he barely squeezed into the starting lineup with his excellent defense. Then came his third year of high school. Haliburton's height soared to 1.95 m. As his height continued to grow, the coach intended to arrange for him to play on the inside, but Haliburton preferred to play as a point guard. He liked the feeling of controlling the ball on the court. In the end, the coach chose to let him develop freely. In this season, Haliburton suddenly erupted, averaging 18 points, 6 assists and 5 rebounds. As a tall point guard, his vision on the court was wider. At the same time, he possesses a high basketball IQ and outstanding organizing abilities, and he was still continuously developing his weaponry. In his senior year, Haliburton steadily improved. The average data came to 22.9 points, 6.2 assists, 5.1 rebounds, 3.5 steals per game. He led the team to a record of 26 wins and 1 loss. Also won the weekly championship of the season. Even though he had such an outstanding performance, people still didn't think much of Haliburton's talent. They thought he lacked explosiveness, had poor shooting skills, and limited potential. So, upon graduating from high school, Haliburton was labeled as a 3-star high school player. This 3-star high school player only earned a few college scholarships. After much consideration, Haliburton chose a university that fit him best, Iowa State University. With the 12th pick in the 2020 NBA draft, the Sacramento Kings select Tyrese Haliburton. If you could redo the 2020 NBA draft, where would you rank Haliburton? In his freshman season, Haliburton was initially assigned as a substitute by the coach, but due to the main point guard's injury, Haliburton was suddenly called upon, replacing him as a starter. To repay the coach's trust, Haliburton threw himself into the training gym, studying game tapes every day, observing how to pass the ball more comfortably to his teammates. In his freshman season, Haliburton averaged 6.8 points, 3.6 assists, and 1.5 steals per game. While the raw statistics seems mediocre, but his efficiency was extremely high. Arriving at his sophomore year, Haliburton's leadership skills were fully utilized. His average stats came to be 15.2 points, 5.9 rebounds, 6.5 assists, 2.5 steals. His shooting percentage was as high as 50%. Three-point shooting percentage even exceeded 40%. In the summer of 2019, Haliburton was selected for the US U19 national team and participated in the U19 World Cup as the starting point guard. He led Team USA to take the gold medal with 7 wins and no losses, while also earning the title of Assist King, and was selected in the best team. The excellent performance in the U19 World Flagship Tournament helped him win more attention. From then, Haliburton's reputation has multiplied. In various draft websites, his name began to appear in the lottery area, even in the top 5. But in the critical 19-20 season, Haliburton suffered a sequence of setbacks. First, Haliburton was plagued by injuries and sickness. Then, due to the epidemic, NCAA was forced to suspend, and the tryout pre-scheduled before the 2020 draft was also canceled. Haliburton's prospects in the draft were affected. Originally, the Suns played at number 10. They intended to elect the next commander for their team, but we all know how it turned out. The arrival of Paul deterred this intention from the Suns. Eventually, Haliburton was incorporated into the Kings at the 12th position in the first round. Despite experiencing a slight setback in his heart, Haliburton made a firm decision, and took this as an incentive, to push himself to be at his best. The time in Sacramento was not too difficult for Haliburton. On the contrary, he got more performance opportunities in the Kings. Whether it was his body advantage, organizational ability, or shooting ability, all impressed many people. After being promoted to the starting lineup by the team, he put on an even brighter performance, and once ascended to the top position of the rookie list. He almost helped the team to break into the play-in game. In the rookie season, Haliburton was able to score an average of 13 points, 3 rebounds, and 8 assists per game. He was successfully selected into the rookie team. Haliburton's rapid growth and outstanding performance made him an integral part of the Kings' rebuilding process. Head coach Walton praised him, saying that Haliburton is a great leader with a great overview of the court. And what's more, his teammates all like him. Haliburton also stated, "I am honored to play for Walton. At the same time, I believe I am the Rookie of the Year. The goal of next season is to lead the team to enter the playoffs." However, just when Haliburton was gradually emerging, on February 8, 2022, on that seemingly ordinary morning, Haliburton received a shocking message. "Hey, you might be traded." O'Neal was so strong. Wasn't he also traded back then? After Haliburton was traded, this is how friends comforted him. The Indiana Pacers have been in the middle of the league for years. The Pacers of the past did not have enough strength to compete for the O'Brien Cup with their team. Neither did they have enough luck to get a high-ranking rookie. After trading away Paul George, they had tried to build around several different young players. Although they could enter the playoffs, they remained unable to overcome the first round. For the Pacers at that time, there was no real superstar in the squad, and neither was there a clear direction of development. However, in early 2022, they made a bold and wise decision on the trade market. They sent out the team's all-star Sabonis and traded for the young guard Tyrese Haliburton from the Kings. In fact, the excellent performance of Haliburton in his rookie season had the Kings management torn between him and Fox for a long time. There have always been rumors about trading the little Fox, but right before the trade deadline, the Kings made the decision to keep Fox and made a trade with the Pacers, exchanging Haliburton for Sabonis. In hindsight, this was definitely a win-win trade. Fox and Sabonis, a perfect duo inside and outside. Last season they helped the Kings end a record of 16 consecutive seasons without making it to the playoffs. As for the Pacers, the arrival of Haliburton gave the team a new direction and found a new core for them. Here, he doesn't have to worry about ball rights and team positioning. The management is building a team around him, setting tactics. Before coming to Indiana, Haliburton was very upset. He was always plagued with thoughts. Was I not good enough? Did I not do enough on the court? After going through some self-doubt, Haliburton regained his confidence. He cheered himself up. At least Sacramento used me to trade for Sabonis, an all-star caliber player. Once Haliburton joined the Pacers, he quickly became the team's leader. He is ready. He wants to leave his mark with the Pacers. He wants the fans here to be proud of him. He will become the best Haliburton here. He wants to prove to the Kings with his performance on the court what a mistake it was to give up on him. And Haliburton did just that. "I will be the best Tyrese Haliburton in Indiana." Haliburton performed very well in the 22-23 season. His team synergy was even better. In the end of November, he led a 3-game winning streak. At the same time, he set an unprecedented NBA record: 40 assists in 3 games. Without a single error, his points and assists have improved, averaging 20.7 points and 10.4 assists per game. At the same time, he was successfully selected as an Eastern All-Star. This is a recognition of his skills and popularity. At the end of the season, under his leadership, the Pacers had the 10th best record in the East, although they didn't make it to the playoffs. But it has exceeded expectations. In the offseason, Haliburton signed a 5-year, $260 million max extension with the Pacers. This was second only to Jokic's 5-year, $272 million deal at the time. From this, we can see the Pacers' focus on Haliburton. At the press conference, Haliburton thanked his family. "There are so many people to thank here, but I have to start with my mother. Mom missed my first match of my freshman season due to a flight delay. Before this, he had never missed any games. It was because of Mom that I am here today. I am thankful for you, for all the sacrifices you made to raise me, for supporting me to become who I am today. This means a lot to me. I love you. I am very grateful for you." When Haliburton received the maximum contract, many people questioned whether it was worth signing this contract. However, as the new season kicked off, Haliburton silenced the doubters with his on-the-court actions. He is the Pacers' one and only commander and brain, the true cornerstone of the team. "Really like this kid. Hope you never change his jump shot. Just let him be himself," Kerr sincerely said to Walton, the former Kings coach. Indeed, Kerr's judgment was correct. Coming into the 23-24 season, Haliburton can still put up averages of 20.8 points and 11.3 assists. This season's Haliburton can still rank among the league's top point guards with 20+10, and he can still maintain high efficiency while handing out a lot of assists. He can still keep errors within a certain range. If he can maintain this performance without any injuries, then he is likely to clinch the assist crown this season. Haliburton on the court will observe his teammates' running positions in advance when serving from the backcourt. He, with a clear mind and wide field of vision, can oversee the entire court. That's why he can catch his teammates accelerating and in their cutting gaps to assist them. Haliburton is also one of the masters of transition and alley-oop passing in today's NBA. This also reminds people of Paul back in the days, who made his value by relying on his super high basketball IQ and phantom passing. As a high IQ point guard, Haliburton also yearns to take over the title of the next active point guard god. In general, Haliburton is the initiator of the Pacers' offense, and also the #1 commander on court. In his passes, simple balls do not make up a large proportion, regardless of a wide range of ball leads, or the no-look pass after breakthrough. Both are difficult balls with both risk and reward, but he can do it quickly, accurately, and with low errors. Having spoken of passing, let's talk about his shooting. When Haliburton shoots, his hand shape is a little strange. His release point is relatively low. He will push the ball forward. On this, Haliburton once said, "People have always tried to correct my shooting form, including the former Kings coach Walton. But in the end, Walton didn't do it. The reason is that Haliburton had trained with the Warriors. Kerr personally called Walton and said, 'I really like this kid. Hope you never change his jump shot. Just let him be himself.' And the fact proves Kerr's judgment was correct. Although Haliburton's shooting form is not beautiful, he has his own unique rhythm. One could say his shooting is a typical practical shooting. Throughout his career, his three-point shooting percentage has remained at 40%. His scoring ability is not bad, and he ranks among the top of the league in various advanced statistics. One can say, from the perspective of personal offense and strategy, Haliburton is beyond reproach. Although his performance on the defensive end is not very good, he can't be called a two-way player. But due to his height, on the guard position, he doesn't lose much in one-on-one defense. Although for this season's Haliburton, having the MVP is a bit difficult, but he still has a good chance of getting the most improved player, even being selected into the best lineup. The Pacers with Haliburton, they are a completely different team from the ones without him. His presence has turned the Pacers from a lottery team into playoff contenders, and as he continues to grow, the future of the Pacers is clear. The importance of Haliburton to the Pacers is self-evident. He played 56 games last season. Pacers had a 50% win rate, and in the 26 games Haliburton missed due to injury, the Pacers only won 7 games. It can be said that Haliburton's existence determines to a certain extent whether the Pacers can make the playoffs. It is indeed so. When he is not injured, the Pacers are steadily in the top 6 in the East. However, when he is injured, the team's winning momentum stops abruptly. The management also saw the Pacers wouldn't function without him. Out of safety considerations, Haliburton was not allowed to return quickly, but tidied up his mood and prepared to greet the draft. This season was the same. Before Haliburton was injured, the Pacers had a record of 7 wins and 3 losses. After his injury, the team's record began to slide, but then he returned hastily, and his condition did not improve. Although the team's record improved slightly, it was still unable to compare with the beginning of the season. Finally, let's talk about Haliburton's key ball ability. Before this season, Haliburton had the problem of his ability to tough it out was not particularly prominent. He himself is not considered a kind of hardcore player. But in this season, his pick-and-roll three-pointers and sudden stop threes shooting percentage, compared with the last season, has improved. This also means his ability to play tough at crucial moments has improved. After all, the greater his personal threat on the offensive end, the better he can play with his passing and consecutive actions. In this way, he has a great overall view on the court, and at the same time, the efficiency is extremely high. With a basketball IQ that can be described as top-notch Haliburton, he has already shown the demeanor of being the top point guard in the East. Coming up next, Haliburton is also going to lead the Pacers to a revival. If he can stay healthy, the Pacers making the playoffs should be no problem. At the same time, being selected into the best lineup should also be a sure thing. Of course, how he plays in more intense competitions still needs time to verify. He needs to play a classic playoffs to eliminate the last doubt out of the world. After all, so far in his career, Haliburton has never made it into the playoffs. But from the team's perspective, if they want to make a difference in the playoffs, they have to improve their defensive intensity. As we all know, teams without defense hardly go far in the playoffs. If the Pacers can put their defense on schedule, the season of the team's harvest is not far away. After all, the current Pacers under the lead of Haliburton have gradually got on the right track. Basically, we can declare that the reconstruction is completed. In the future, Haliburton's magic will definitely bring everyone more surprises. Well, the video for this issue is over. Follow me. Continue to bring you more basketball stories. See you in the next issue.